My name is Sarah Intonato. I am 36 years old. I live in Long Island, New York. I've been a yoga teacher for 15 years. So I've been either a freelancer or an entrepreneur of some sort since the age of 22, and had spent the majority of my time in this profession doing what I love, making decent money, but on a very fly by night kind of basis, and really in an industry where there's a big stigma on because you're helping people, you can't make money or it's frowned upon to make money. And so that was something that was always underlying everything that I did. And I always loved my work, always, and felt often frustrated that I had found a career that I loved so much and struggled to make a living with it. What drew me to boot camp in the first place was I had come off some very recent highs in my business, followed by some really hard lows, some really intense business failures that really provoked me to think there had to be a better way. And I didn't know what it was, and I didn't know how to find it, but I knew there was something. I knew there was just something that had to click for me. And so I started asking some friends, some female entrepreneurs who I know, what I could do to become more aware of abundance and my money empowerment as a woman. And I found Lucky Bitch Boot Camp. And my first aha in joining the boot camp, probably in the first week of boot camp, was that I didn't value myself at all. And it became very apparent to me right away that the money wasn't really just about the money. It was about so much more than that, and how I viewed myself as a woman, as a business owner, and how I viewed my level of expertise. And I didn't value my knowledge, so how could anyone else value it? And that was a huge aha for me in boot camp. And one of the things that I really loved about boot camp right away was that there was no judgment in that. You know, I tend to be a very results-based person. In the SMA course, I'm a ruler, ruler, maverick, romantic. And in the ruler in me is like all or nothing, black or white. You're either winning or you're losing. And what I loved about boot camp is you're dealing with really intense stuff, but in such a soft approach that makes it really doable and non-judgmental and welcoming to take a look at yourself and all of the, mistakes that you might be making and try to reframe them. Oh, goodness. I think the biggest breakthrough I've had since joining boot camp, which was a year and a half ago, in the first year, I doubled my business. I broke six figures, and that's something that I was unable to do for probably a decade prior to that. And within that, I'm on the road to double my business again this year, halfway through the year. And the best part of this is it feels joyful. I thought that it would feel like a sledgehammer type of groundwork, hard, sweating, intense, overwhelming feeling to grow my business in such a way. And just by doing so much mindset work, it's really enjoyable. And I really feel like I'm able to be myself in the way I work. And that's my favorite part. Some of the things I changed to see that financial growth were that I stopped thinking of myself as I have to do everything alone type of entrepreneur. And I think because when you are teaching a yoga class, you are teaching it on your own. I always thought I had to do everything alone. And so boot camp really showed me that as a business, it's okay to invest in yourself as a business owner and in order to grow your business. So it really helped me to find the right business coach who is also a lucky bee. And that changed tremendously the way I work, because I had somebody who had skill sets that I didn't have and helped me to hire the right type of assistance that I need. So learning to invest in myself made me see myself as a real business. I no longer thought of myself as a little on the side kind of career. And it never was a side career anyway, but I thought of myself as a real businesswoman now that I had invested in myself, and now that I had done the little things that I should have done from the beginning, like form a proper corporation and get proper business banking accounts. And I wasn't just a freelancer anymore. I was a real business. And looking at myself and seeing myself as real really made me feel much more confident in everything that I was doing. And I think, when you show up with more confidence, you resonate with people on a different level. And I think they respect you more because you respect yourself more. For somebody who's just considering joining boot camp this year, I want to say, I know how scary it is to invest in yourself for the first time. The idea of spending, I think when I broke the payment plan down, it was under $200 per month to pay for boot camp over the course of 10 months or a year or something. And I was terrified. I was literally sweating when I put my credit card info in to buy boot camp because it was just new. I had never done it before. I was intimidated. I was afraid I wouldn't make my money back. I had spent so many years in a scarcity mindset that this was just uncharted territory. So I know what it's like to be that nervous. And what I can say is to just trust the process and do the work. Don't sign up for boot camp and expect fireworks to go off magically. If you show up and do every assignment and take your time with it and really invest your energy in it, you're going to change a lot. And the cool thing is that being a yoga teacher, I relate a lot of things back to my yoga practice. And one of the things I always tell my students is that the basics work. You're better off going back to review your basics and fine tune them over and over again because you do your basics every single day. That's far more effective than doing a fancy yoga pose once a month. And if you can get used to the basic mindset shifts and the basic exercises that boot camp really provokes you to do, you'll see those big changes, just like you would see them in your physical body. If you were doing a yoga practice, you'll see them in every area of your life. And I think sometimes we neglect the simple things because they seem too easy. And if you really just pour yourself into those simple things one at a time, anybody can do it. If you want to do it, you're going to do it. You're going to make those changes. You just have to really decide. A little bit of advice to somebody who's new at boot camp would be to connect with the Facebook group because all of us in there have been new at some point. And it's probably the most supportive community I know of women, certainly of people on the internet. And we've all walked in your shoes. So we know how you feel when you just join and you're wondering if it will work for you, and we're here to support you. And I think that's a really crucial point. You don't have to do it alone, even though you might be filling out the exercises on your own. You're not really alone. And I keep hearing a common theme amongst female entrepreneurs as all of us being a little bit lonely. It can be a solitary life sometimes when you run your own business. And remember that you have this wonderful community and take advantage of it because we are all stronger together. Oh, Denise, I can't wait to meet you in New York this fall. I'm so glad that you're coming to meet you in person. And I just want to say thank you because I came from a background where money wasn't really discussed. It was a very taboo topic. Certainly in my industry, it's not discussed. And Denise really made it okay to talk about it and not have a stigma around it and not be scared to discuss it calmly and openly and with confidence. And it sounds so small, but it's really made huge changes in my ability to own my value. So Denise, thank you. Namaste. I really appreciate you taking what to me is a very courageous risk and putting yourself out there to, in my world, be the first woman to discuss this topic amongst other women and give us permission to do the same. Thank you.